not looking to shut roads down, but let's increase the use of our land for what the people want to use it for. If there's more people wanting to take ATVs out there, let's do a survey or watch the roads, see who's going out there, who's using it, and then let's develop it for what the people want to use it for. You know, if there's somebody in Vegas that wants to protect land, but they don't go out there, what does it really matter? It should be the people that use the land, in my opinion. Also, I assume this is addressed in this, but there's a number of permits issued each year. I race dirt bikes, and I believe it's 8 permits. I think it's for Clark County area. I don't know where exactly it's for, but they're pretty impossible to get because there's so few of them. And I don't know, you know, there's other events that use them up too. If we're using that resource more in our communities as a people, let's get some more permits out there so that we can do the things we want to do with our public lands. Thank you.
Mayor, Council. Roy Sutton, part-time resident here in Mesquite. I use those lands out there at Gold Butte. I was just out there for 2 weeks, straight on. I go out there and do my thing. And I intend to use them in the future as I've used them in the past. But I noticed one thing here within their presentation. First of all, they said there was 21 cooperating agencies, so they're keeping track of the people that's on board here. But are they keeping track of the people that has got opposition to this plan, or the people that have already spoke on it, the impact of it, what it's going to mean to the land users? Because this is public land. Secondly, they talk about how they selectively chose where they went and did these meetings, where they give people the opportunity to offer input. Mesquite wasn't one of them, as it was pointed out. Why? And now they say the 9th is the deadline on this. And you know what? You can only tip that table up so far, roll everything down to one end to get the desired results until finally the table tips over. But we need more people. Everybody needs more time on this. 3 months, 4 months. What is the rush at this point? That land's been out there for millions of years. What is the rush at this point to ram this thing down the public's throat and get it through? That's the bigger question, I think.
I'm Jolene Jensen. I'm from Bunkerville, Nevada. I was born and raised here, and I get emotional talking because I'm afraid. But I was surprised to hear that this meeting was going on, and I'm grateful that I did and was able to come. But I am surprised also that Bunkerville was not a part of it. And I think the reason why is, well, I know the reason why, is because we all, or the majority of the people here, want our lands to be the same. We want to have, I brought my kids here to be raised the same as I was, and to be able to go out there with my children and do the same things that my parents did with me, to go out and enjoy nature. And I am for improving what Mr. Bunker said, to improve by keeping people on the same trails. I am so for that. I don't like a ton of trails, but for that purpose, to be able to go out and make trails and to maintain them, and I believe Utah did that, where they had a day where they went and they maintained trails for dirt biking, and but I suggest that you extend your date, because I know I will fight for it verbally, I want, is red when I'm done? I've never done this before, sorry. I don't want other things going out there. That's my personal opinion. I want it to be where people can go out and enjoy nature, and that's what I think it should be, and that's it.
Just wanted to say good afternoon to you guys and the citizens behind me. I will not recognize nor acknowledge the people that are trying to push this through to us.
Excuse me, can I have your name, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Buddha, B-O-O-D-A, Cavalier. I'm a new resident here in Mesquite. They're trying to pull the wool over you guys' eye with the Smoke and Pony show. It's up to us, the people who elected you, and the people you represent, to tell them they gotta kick rocks. This ain't happening. The only thing I will tell them is when they go to the field to play ball, me and my crew will come to the field and play ball as well. Thank you.
Tony Barron, Mesquite. Most of the people here are obviously primarily interested in the Gold Butte area. The whole plan covers a much vaster area and is almost too large, as has been pointed out, for any one person to really understand. I'd like to say I think BLM is the Rodney Dangerfield of government agencies. They don't hardly get no respect ever, it seems. Sometimes even from the people that usually support them, or mostly support them, still can have issues with them. But as far as protecting Gold Butte, I think if people really want to see Gold Butte protected, they should get Congressman Hardy to join with Senator Reed and get the bill passed to designate it as a national conservation area. That would guarantee that the roads would remain open, because that's specified in Senator Reed's bill, and would give a local committee, advisory committee to help determine how Gold Butte then would be managed. And as far as people making accusations against what BLM is planning to do, they have 4 different proposals there. And one of them is to do nothing, leave it absolutely as it is. So they are not trying to ram anything down our throat. They're asking for which one of these proposals people are most interested in seeing carried out. So thank you.
David Baldwin. One of the things I think most people do, but I just want to make sure everybody's clear. It seems like we're talking about 2 different things. One of them is BLM proposed use recommendations, and then we just heard about the NCA legislation that was introduced by Harry Reid, Senate Bill 199. They're 2 different things. When we hear about roads not being able to be closed in Gold Butte, I've got the bill right here. There's several pages in there that talk about how they can close roads, how they can't repair roads. So there are a lot of caveats to this, but there are ways to close roads in this. So that was one thing that was just stated. So, I mean, we just need to have an honest discussion about this. And I've asked repeatedly for the number of years I've been here with previous administrators of Friends of Gold Butte, please explain to me in specificity, if I can say that word, why an NCA is going to be better than the current red designation for Gold Butte. And the biggest issue that we can't find with this new Senate bill, Harry Reid, it refers to a map. That map details where the wilderness is going to be in the NCA. And I can't find that map anywhere. It's not part of the legislation. It's not part of the packet. And that's the catch on this is, an NCA is one thing, but when it's NCA with wilderness, you're just gonna close the door, lock the gates, throw away the keys. If it's a wilderness, you're not gonna be able to get in there. It's not gonna happen.
Good afternoon. My name is Byron George. Thank you for having this hearing and inviting the BLM to discuss this proposal. You know, the BLM's been around a while. A lot of folks in this country that love public lands, that support public lands, ranchers, common people. A lot of citizens thought the BLM was a pretty good idea to manage the lands. BLM's system has served us pretty well over the years. Now, no one's suggesting that the federal government is a perfect system, because we obviously see flaws in the governmental system every day. We see it in the local, we see it in the county, we see it in the state, we see it in the federal system. What I would say is I would urge you to read this report, give it your honest and best intentions on trying to solve some of these problems that are before us, okay? We all love the public lands, not just Nevadans. These public lands are for everyone in this country. I could go to California, enjoy BLM lands, or Oregon. So I would suggest that you read this report, consider it, and give it your best honest effort. Thank you.
My name's Bailey Lowe. I'm a resident of Bunkerville, Nevada. There's a lot of issues, like you said, that need to be addressed. So I will send you your 7,000 page, and I'll email it right back to you, your whole plan. The first problem I see in it is it's not BLM at all. It's state land, and that belongs to us, the citizens. And it's managing itself perfectly for hundreds of thousands of years. It's becoming more beautiful as the days go by. And it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to, it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to my family, and to those around me. And I would urge all of you to please look at this and look at what the people that you guys represent actually think about this. One thing that stood out about me, in your presentation, there was a screen and it was split in half, and it said, you know, how to address your comments and how not to. And on the left-hand side, it stated that it doesn't matter, not quote, but we could have 10,000 people here saying no, and they're going to count that as one no. The citizens of Mesquite say one no, and my voice is louder than that. Thank you.
My name's Golly Redburn. I'm from Mesquite. Lived here all my life. The comment that I'd like to make is you guys have said, BLM said they've worked with the city of Mesquite, but as Mr. Nathan pointed out at the beginning, he has never had the opportunity to work on this. And what I want to know is why hasn't this administration, this city council that's been elected to represent the people now, why haven't they had the opportunity to do that? And another question for our mayor is, if they're going to use that excuse that they've met with you, why? I guess the question is, why haven't you read it? Why don't you know what's in there? If you're the only person that you know that has any clout with these guys. The other question, now why is it that they picked all these other little towns all over southern Nevada, through Nevada, to go talk to and seek for their input? Why haven't they come here and seek mine? Why haven't they had a city council meeting here? And there's another gentleman that made a comment about how the BLM's got kicked around for a long time, and about how they're not really respected. And as far as that goes, I say that they only deserve the respect that they showed, and they showed here last year. And that's my comment.
Dave Bundy. Wrote some thoughts down on my way here today. You know, this plan reminds me of the confusion that the Affordable Care Act brought to us. It's so thick and long, and it's designed for that. There's a purpose for that. The acts of the BLM violate the supreme law of the land for Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution. For Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution, this land clearly belongs to the state of Nevada. The Bureau of Land Management nor the federal government does not have title to this land. Clearly does not have title to this land. This is public land, belongs to the state of Nevada and its people. Furthermore, their acts violate state sovereignty, county and city authority, and individual unalienable rights and liberties. Government was established among men for the protection and security of these rights and liberties. As stated in the Declaration of Independence, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. And I quote, "But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariable the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is our right, it is our duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for our protection and future security. As a responsible citizen, it is my right and it is my duty to oppose any such government and or bureaucracy that attempts to impose rule that violates the liberties afforded me by the supreme law of the land, our Constitution. I hope as elected representatives of we the people, you council members, will do the same. I hope and pray that you find the courage. Thank you."
My name is Ryan Bundy. How are you guys today? I'm just going to make a simple statement. The Bureau of Land Management does not have authority to manage these lands. As stated by my brother Dave, this land belongs to the state of Nevada and her people and is to be controlled by the government closest to the people, our Clark County and our local towns and so forth. One thing they haven't addressed, it doesn't matter whether they do or not. Again, I've already said they have no legitimate authority here. But the Bundy family owns rights on this land, range rights, and we will continue to manage and maintain those rights regardless of what happens upon this land managerial-wise. However, we encourage the local government to take control as they should. And that is not you, that is our county and our state. However, we will maintain our rights, we will use our rights, and we will maintain roads. Not particularly us maintaining roads, but the roads will remain open. People will not allow this to be closed. And so BLM, take note of that. All right? We've enjoyed a year of freedom since you've been gone. We want you to stay gone. Don't come back. We're not going to allow it.
Are we allowed to say something short for a second time?
You may have final public comment.
Okay.
My name's Jay Tolber. I've lived here all my life. And I just want to comment that you guys were voted in by the people in Mesquite and stuff. I hope you fight this all that you can. I probably ride these trails and stuff around here as much or more than anybody. And over the years, you go riding out and and it's a big asset to the city to have people. I have them call me all the time, will you guide me out to this location or this location? And you have people coming in and spending money. And what bothers me is you go out to a place you used to drive to that was a pretty overlook. There's a road that's been there for 80 years, and they blocked it off. They want you to walk the last 2 or 3 miles. Well, most of the people here are retired. It's not hurting a thing to drive on out and look at what you wanted to see. And that's the problem I have with you guys. It's closing us out of the places we enjoy to see. Anyway, I hope you fight it.
My name is Dana Lakeman. I'm a retired federal employee. I live in Mesquite. In my former job, I was these folks, only for the different agency. They are doing their jobs. They, per their policies and procedures, put the notice in the Federal Register, I will assume 150 days ago, as they were required to do. If you did not read the Federal Register 150 days ago, that's on you. That's not on them. They're not giving you 9 days or 6 days to respond. They've given you 150 days to respond. Coming here and standing at this podium and making threats to them, I find totally inappropriate. Where's the police officer? He ought to be here. Very inappropriate. They're trying to do their jobs as they were hired to do. Threatening them is not the answer. If you'd like to work with them, then provide public comments. Asking for an extension would be appropriate, but if I was sitting in there and you were threatening me, I'd be calling the police. Thank you.
Any other public comment at this point? Yes, sir.
Tillman Hay from Mesquite, Nevada. That's my brother. I'll try not to embarrass him. First of all, I would like to apologize to you guys for threats that have been made. That is totally wrong. I don't blame you guys for what's going on. You're just doing your job. So I apologize for some people and some things that were said. Now, we're here to tell you guys, to tell your bosses what we want. And that's who we need to be talking to. Harry Reid. When I heard the fellow mention Harry Reid, run, duck, hide, whatever. Just get away from him, okay? We don't want what he says, okay? We mentioned Obamacare. Everybody, I'm sure, knows Gruber. Gruber fed us Obamacare. Nancy Pelosi said we have to pass it and then read it. So why I say that is because of your comments on how to comment is kind of constructed. So my point being is that didn't work. So we need more time to read it. The other guy that works for the federal government, I'm not gonna, whatever he said, but we do need more time. We're talking about protecting it and saving it. What are we protecting and saving it from? We want renewable energy. I don't know if anybody has looked at the wind farms that have been going on. They're killing more eagles and more birds than man has ever done. Let's look at history, okay? When we talk about Harry Reid and the things that he's done, let's look at history. History dictates. I mean, we're trying to get away from history. There's nothing wrong with it out there. Councilman Hardy representative had a meeting here. And in the newspaper, I don't know where the guy is today, but he said there's garbage everywhere out there. The dump's that way. I was out there 3 or 4 days in December. I didn't see the garbage, okay? I didn't see any pictures from this man. I didn't see any proof. There's garbage right up here on this road, yeah. But whose problem is that? They're breaking the law, not us. Don't take our rights away from somebody else. Another thing, if I want to put a swimming pool in my backyard in Mesquite, Nevada, I come here, Mesquite, Nevada, to get a permit. Gold Butte's my backyard. You guys didn't come here, you went to Henderson. Why would you go to Henderson and not here? That's just a question for you guys to ask your bosses. I have some other things, but I'll let them go. But once again, I want to apologize if you guys feel uncomfortable. I appreciate you being here. I know it took a lot. I know you're just doing your job. And as part of that, you guys need to tell your bosses what we think. Thank you.
Let me try to clarify it as much as I don't see anybody else coming up for a minute. Some of the comments made, again, we're talking about Gold Butte, but Gold Butte, if you do look at this plan, and again, I have not read this in detail, it's long. Gold Butte is just a small portion of this entire plan, so I want you to remember that when we talk about this whole issue of what we're looking at. It's pretty massive with many, many choices, and this is what I personally would like to see, is that we do get an extension, number one, on this, and that the people do get a chance. I've not looked at the Federal Register. I wouldn't have known it was 150 days unless somebody told me so. I'd have no need to know this ahead of schedule. But to really seriously take a look at this and make some constructive comments, I don't know what the overall plan will be in Washington, and we certainly don't blame these individuals for coming here. They're representing an agency of thousands of employees and a huge bureaucracy. They're going to look at this plan and all the comments that come in, and they're going to submit it to somebody who's going to submit it to somebody, and on up the line. And I don't know if we'll ever know whether our comments mean anything, but that's the choice we have to make, whether we want to make them or not make them. I would prefer that we make them, and hopefully they will be listened to, and I don't know. And again, one of the plans is to do absolutely nothing. Just leave it the same way it's always been. And that is apart from the Harry Reid bill, which again is just a small portion of this entire project. And I hope that clarifies a little bit for you on that. Are there any other comments on this point? If not, I will close it to comment and then open it up to public comment. Now you may come up in public comment. Oh, excuse me, one second. Okay. We can turn this back to council for discussion first then. Okay. Do we have any comment from council? Councilman Haven.
Well, there's a lot of comments, 2,200 pages, and to understand the mechanics of going back and forth. I guess, just so we're specific on one thing, road seems to be, access is a big concern for residents in this valley. We've heard from other people that off-road and they enjoy going out there. And I can tell you that the people that are in here, they're not the ones that are going off trail and making the damage and doing those kind of things, whether you're for it or against it or whatever. But to be specific, I believe it's, I'm going to have some clarification from one of you. I think it's 2.5.3.5, it's on the travel and transportation, it's objective 3.1. And these are some of the questions that I've had as I've looked at this and I've tried to go through it, and I'm telling you, it's kind of confusing. And I understand that it's a bigger area than just Gold Butte, but I think my opinion is most of the people in here are concerned about the Gold Butte area and the lands that's closest to us. It says where off-road vehicles are causing or will cause considerable adverse effects upon soil, vegetation, wildlife habitats, cultural resources, historical resources, threatened or endangered species, wilderness, suitability, or other authorized uses or resources, the affected areas shall be immediately closed to the types of vehicle causing the adverse effect until the adverse effects are eliminated and measures are implemented to prevent reoccurrence. So we're going to determine, we're going to project into the future what will cause considerable adverse effects. According to this, we're going to go close the road. We're going to try to implement whatever plan to mitigate the damages that's been caused, or we feel, or whoever the, and even in some places in this plan, one BLM agent can determine, whether it's a shooting or whatever, that there's a damage that's going to be caused, and it's closed. But yet I hear Mr. Barron says we ought to get Congressman Hardy to jump on Titus and Reed's bill to ensure that these roads stay open. I guess I'm confused with this language here. Can you explain why that language is there and how we determine what will cause